Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a heartwarming tale about a little bear with a big heart and a suitcase full of marmalade dreams. This is the full recap of Paddington, 2014. This story begins in a dense jungle, where a group of people are on a mission, a quest for discovery. Their goal? To find strange, rare, and unknown animals hidden deep in the wild. During this expedition, a geographer named Montgomery comes across a very peculiar bear. Not only could this bear walk around, but it could actually talk too. Montgomery wants to take a sample of the bear, so he tries to capture it. But just then, the bear's friend shows up and saves Montgomery from a scorpion attack. Later, both bears take Montgomery into their jungle world, showing him their way of life. Slowly, they become friends. Montgomery spends several months with them, teaching them how to live like humans. He names them Lucy and Pastuzo, and before bidding farewell, he gifts them red hats, a symbol of their bond. Now the story jumps ahead a few years. We're shown a little bear named Paddington. He lives with his uncle Pastuzo and Aunt Lucy. These are the same bears who once met Montgomery, so by now, they've learned to live like humans too. Their favorite thing? Making jam. All kinds of jam, from every sour fruit you can think of. They often dream of going to London, because Montgomery was from there. One day, while they're listening to Montgomery's show on the radio, a sudden earthquake shakes the jungle. Everyone runs for their lives. Paddington and Aunt Lucy hide in a basement, but Uncle Pastuzo is stuck outside, and he dies. After his uncle's death, Paddington, with a heavy heart, grabs his uncle's hat and sets off with Aunt Lucy to London. Before reaching the city, they stop at a harbor. There, Aunt Lucy tells Paddington, "You should go to London alone now. I'm old, and I'll be moving into a retirement home for bears. It's your time now, go find a new home." Paddington is sad, but he agrees. He boards the boat to London and eventually arrives at the railway station. Seeing the London station, Paddington is totally amazed. He goes up to people and says, "Can someone please take me home? My aunt told me humans adopt small animals." But everyone ignores him. Sad and rejected, Paddington sits quietly in a corner. That's when a man named Henry, passing by with his family, tells his kids, "Don't look at that bear, maybe he's trying to sell something." He walks past him without a second thought. But Henry's wife, Mary, just can't ignore Paddington. Seeing the lonely, sad bear melts her heart, so she decides to take him home. Paddington is super happy to see a human house for the first time, but Henry quickly sets expectations. "Don't get too excited, you're only staying for tonight. Tomorrow, we'll drop you off at the animal shelter." Paddington replies, "If you help me find the explorer who came to our home in Peru, I might be able to find a place of my own. He promised my uncle he would give us a home." Henry thinks this sounds easy, until he realizes Paddington doesn't even remember the explorer's name. Mary comforts Paddington, "Don't worry, we'll find that explorer soon. There aren't many who traveled from London to Peru." Then she sends Paddington to the bathroom to freshen up. But Paddington has never used a bathroom before. So, in total chaos, he ends up messing with everything, causing water to flood the house. Because of the mess, he's sent to sleep in the storeroom, so he doesn't damage anything else. In the storeroom, Paddington feels lonely. He writes a letter to his Aunt Lucy. Henry works at an insurance company, so he's worried I might be a financial risk. That's why he's thinking of getting home insurance. He writes, "Mary loves sketching. Judy is still in school and very shy, 'cause she's in love with a boy named Tony, but scared to tell her family. Jonathan, Mary's son, wants to become an astronaut. He's always pulling wild stunts and ends up hurting himself. And then there's Mrs. Bird, the family's housekeeper. She loves cleaning." Later, Mary comes to the storeroom and talks to Paddington. She says, "Don't worry, we'll find that explorer who went to Peru." Paddington shows her his hat and says, "This hat belonged to the same explorer who met my uncle." Mary says, "Well then, that'll make our job easier. I have a friend who owns an antique shop. He might know something about this old hat." After Mary leaves, Paddington climbs on a wooden beam to sleep, an old habit, because he loves sleeping in trees. Meanwhile, we're introduced to Millicent, a woman obsessed with capturing rare animals. Her servant tells her that he spotted a strange animal at the harbor, one that loved jam. Millicent, annoyed, asks, "Do you know where it is now?" The servant says no. And here's the twist, Millicent is actually Montgomery's daughter. One day, Paddington causes another loud ruckus at home. When Henry and his family are leaving the house, their neighbor Mr. Curry asks them, "There's been a lot of noise from your house lately, what's going on?" Henry replies, "We've got a new family member," and introduces them to Paddington. Later, Mary takes Paddington to her friend's antique shop. On the way, Paddington faces a lot of struggles. At the shop, while the friend is looking at Paddington's hat, someone drops their wallet. Paddington runs to return it. but the man gets scared and runs away. Turns out, that man was a thief, not the wallet's owner. Paddington catches him, and the police arrive, arresting the thief and praising Paddington. Mary's friend then tells them that the red hat isn't just a regular hat. It was specifically designed for an explorer. If Paddington goes to the Geographers Guild, they might find out who it originally belonged to. Meanwhile, Millicent is back. She knocks out a railway guard and finds the taxi number Paddington used. Back to Henry, he's still mad at Paddington's behavior, and doesn't want him in the house anymore. But Judy and Jonathan have grown very fond of him, and take good care of him. Seeing this, Henry softens a bit, and agrees to let Paddington stay at home. On the other hand, Millicent tortures the taxi driver to get Paddington's exact location. She finally arrives outside the Brown family's home. There, she meets Mr. Curry, who spills everything he knows about Paddington. Now, we see Henry and Paddington at the Geographers Guild library, where they go to find out more about the explorer. Paddington and Henry start collecting proof about the explorer at the Geographers Guild library. But the library manager grows suspicious of Henry, and just as he begins to question him, Paddington has already gathered information about explorers who traveled to Peru. He also finds a ladder there. Henry somehow escapes the manager's questions and rushes to Paddington. But in the chaos, he accidentally throws Paddington's sandwich into the library's security scanning machine, which causes the entire thing to explode. Somehow, they manage to escape. Meanwhile, Millicent is shown visiting Mr. Curry's house. She tries to scare him, warning him that bears are dangerous, and soon the entire neighborhood will be at risk if Paddington stays. She convinces Curry to help her, saying that if he ever finds Paddington alone, he should immediately inform her. Curry agrees. Back to Henry, he's with his family watching the video footage found through that ladder at the library. It turns out to be an old video made by Montgomery Clyde when he first met Paddington's uncle and aunt. From the video, they finally learn the explorer's name, Montgomery Clyde. Mystery solved. Meanwhile, everyone begins to warm up to Paddington. He becomes part of the Brown family. Then, one day, while everyone's out at work, Paddington is left home alone. Curry sees this and immediately calls Millicent, telling her that the bear is alone. Millicent is delighted and rushes to Curry's place to plan the capture. Back home, Paddington is peacefully reading a book. When a page tears, he tries to fix it with tape, but ends up wrapping himself in it completely face with tears of joy. At that very moment, Millicent descends from the ceiling like some action villain, and tries to knock Paddington out and kidnap him, but she fails. During the struggle, a fire breaks out in the house. Millicent panics and escapes. When Henry and the family return home and see the fire damage, they assume Paddington caused all of it. They get furious. That night, Henry tells Mary, "We can't keep Paddington here anymore. He could put the kids in danger." Mary, although saddened, agrees. Tomorrow, we'll hand him over to the police. Paddington overhears all of this through the air vents. Heartbroken and devastated, he quietly leaves the house that night. The next day, when everyone realizes that Paddington is gone, they're deeply upset. Henry tries to justify it. "Why are you all so bothered? He was never really one of us." The whole family turns on him. Mary walks up to him and says, "You don't get it. Just like you need your family, he needs us too." Meanwhile, Paddington is wandering the city, searching for Montgomery Clyde. After tons of effort, he finally finds the address. But when he reaches the house, a shocking truth comes out. Montgomery Clyde is long dead, and now his daughter, Millicent, lives there. Millicent is thrilled. Her prey has come to her. She takes Paddington with her. But Mr. Curry, watching all this, informs Henry. Henry, realizing the mistake he made, rushes with his family to rescue Paddington. Millicent takes Paddington to the Natural History Museum. There, she reveals her backstory. Years ago, there was an expedition to capture rare creatures. Her father, Montgomery, was part of it. All other explorers returned with specimens and became rich and famous. But her father refused to capture any animal. He had become friends with those bears. Because of this, he was kicked out of the Geographers Guild and fell into poverty. Millicent, bitter and vengeful, wants to finish what her father never did. She plans to stuff Paddington and put him on display. Hearing this, Paddington is terrified. He tries to escape, but Millicent injects him with a tranquilizer. Meanwhile, Henry and his family reach the museum, but the main gate is locked. Judy suggests an idea. "If we go through the conveyor belt, we can get in." They all agree and sneak in. Miss Bird distracts the security guard with non-stop talk, so he doesn't notice anything on the CCTV. The family reaches the power room, and Jonathan cuts the electricity to stop Millicent's plan. Millicent runs toward the control room to turn the power back on, but Henry spots her and runs toward Paddington. He finds him unconscious, wakes him up, and tries to get him out. But Millicent sees footprints on the floor. She now knows someone is trying to help Paddington. She chases him. Paddington barely escapes, dodging danger after danger. Eventually, Henry and his family all reunite inside the museum. Paddington ends up on the the roof, cornered by Millicent. She tries to kill him, but just in time, the entire Brown family arrives and stands protectively in front of him. Paddington says, "You didn't have to do all this for me." But then, clever as ever, he pulls out a sandwich from his hat and throws it at Millicent. Suddenly, the pigeons at the museum, seeing the sandwich, attack Millicent. She slips and falls, and Paddington is saved. After this, Paddington returns home with Henry and his family. He's officially a part of the Brown household now. He writes a letter to Aunt Lucy, telling her about everything that happened, and that he's finally found a family. Aunt Lucy is filled with joy, knowing Paddington is safe and loved. And as for Millicent, well, she's sent to jail for capturing and storing rare animals illegally. And with that, this beautiful tale of jam, chaos, kindness, and found family comes to a heartwarming end. Paddington isn't just a story about a bear in a blue coat. It's about finding family in unexpected places. It's about kindness, courage, and the simple power of being polite. It shows us that even in a big, noisy world, there's always room for a little heart. Thanks for watching Rabbit Recaps. Don't forget, be kind, be brave, and always carry marmalade sandwiches in your hat. See you next time.